Hi guys, it's Min and welcome back to Korean class. 안녕. 안녕하세요, 여러분. Hi guys, and welcome back. And today we're starting the second part of this series, Learn Korean with Min. So in the first 4 chapters, we have used this verb 이다, to be, and we've also seen how to use that in questions and negative forms. Chapter 5 is also separated into 2 videos. We're first going to see a new magical verb, which is 하다, to do, and a lot of variations that you can have with this verb. And in the second part, so the second video, we'll see the interrogations and negative forms that we can make out of these new words that we've learned during the first video. And also, I posted vocabulary workshop for chapter 4, so if you haven't watched it yet, you can go check that video first. The grammar for this chapter is quite simple and straightforward. As long as you understood everything clearly from the chapter 3 and 4, we are kind of repeating same thing again here. But yeah, we'll see a lot of new vocabs, so that's why it's important to watch the vocabulary workshop video first before you come to see this one, chapter 5. So if you have watched it and if you're ready, let's get started. So the first thing to see is, of course, the conjugation of this verb 하다. And as we have done with 이다 already, we don't really use the top part, the last part at the end of this infinitive form, but we only use the first part of the verb, which is 하 in this case, and we call it radix. So anyway, when you have a look at this chart right here, I put 6 forms in total, so 3 different politeness levels, formal, polite, informal, and each tone has 2 forms, which is general form and respectful form. So we're going to read it together. So when you say I'm doing something or I do something, formally speaking, you'd say 합니다. Here you write it with a B sound, but it sounds more like an M, like especially when you put it in a sentence. So it's a sort of phonetic rule to make it easier to pronounce. So 합니다. And 해요 is the polite form, and 해 is informal way of speaking. And for the second colon, when you talk about someone else, like he does or she does, he's doing, she's doing, you gotta say 하십니다. Same here, this B sound sounds more like an M here, so 하십니다. And 하세요 for polite and 하셔 for informal. So these are depending on about whom you were talking. So once again, 합니다, 해요, 해, and 하십니다, 하세요, 하셔. Yeah, so now we can say 저는 합니다, I'm doing, 나는 해, I do, I'm doing. But it's not only 하다, but there are tons of other actions that you can describe now, because this 하다 ending can be attached to the other nouns as well. For example, you saw this word 청소, cleaning, which is a noun. And when you put 하다 with it, it becomes a verb. So 청소하다, to clean. Same for 일, which is work or job. So when you say 일하다, it means to work. So it's a verb now. Another example, 공부하다. 공부 is study. So when you say 공부하다, it's the verb form to study, to learn something. So does 요리하다. So 요리 is cooking or food. So when you say 요리하다, that means make food, so to cook. And so yeah, you can put different types of nouns with this verb 하다. And I just showed like a couple of examples, but there's like tons of them. And for conjugation, you can just conjugate the last part of your verb 하다 part and keep the first noun part as it is. So when you say I'm studying or I study, you get to say 저는 공부해요. So you don't touch 공부 part, but you just conjugate 하다 word. Same for 저는 일합니다. I'm working. Or 오빠는 청소해요. My older brother is cleaning. And one extra thing that I want you guys to know in this chapter is how to say when you're doing these actions. So basically, you can just put the word 에 at the end of the word that shows the exact moment or time. So this word 에 works like at or on in English. For example, when you say I swim on Wednesday, like every Wednesday, then you're gonna say 저는 수요일에 수영해요, because 수요일, Wednesday, that's a specific moment. So does 저는 주말에 게임해요. I play game on weekend. Here 주말, weekend is also a specific moment. So you can put 에 here. So apart from this, you can of course put 에 with the days of week. 월요일, 화요일, 수요일, 목요일, 금요일, 토요일, 일요일. Also a time like 7시에 at 7 o'clock. 아침에 in the morning. Or a date like 15일에 at the 15th. Or year 2020년에 in 2020. Or month 8월에 in August, and so on. So any sort of specific moment or time, you have to put 에 at the end of that. And exceptionally, these four words here, we don't put 에 next to it. So 어제, yesterday, 오늘, today, 내일, tomorrow, 올해, this year. These four words exceptionally don't be followed with 에 ending. So we say, for example, 저는 오늘 목욕해요. I'm taking bath today, but here we don't say 오늘에, because if 오늘 is exceptional word that you don't put 에. So does 언니는 내일 일해요. My sister is working tomorrow, or she works tomorrow. We don't say 내일에. So don't forget, you never put 에 with these four words here. 어제, 오늘, 내일, 올해. Very good. 좋아요. So that's it for today's video. Please make sure that you memorized all 6 different forms to conjugate the verb 하다. And it will be also very useful to remember those words that can be attached to 하다 that we have seen today was 5 of them. 공부하다, to study, 일하다, to work, 청소하다, to clean, 요리하다, to cook, and 수영하다, to swim. So I'll see you guys in the second part of this video, this series, and in the meantime, please revise the vocabs with the vocabulary workshop video, and you can also try to make some sentences by yourself. You can leave a comment down below or DM me through Instagram, and I'll go correct your sentences or answer your questions. I'll try to get that as soon as possible. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next part of this chapter 5. So 네, 오늘 영상도 봐주셔서 감사합니다. 공부 열심히 하시고요. 저는 chapter 5 2탄으로 돌아오도록 하겠습니다. 다음 영상에서 만나요. 안녕히 가세요. 안녕. 바이.